Now again, we are going to be moving into some different indicators that are going to help us on our shorts and talk about, how we can be able to figure out when stocks are going to be getting some sort of reversal. Let's talk about some indicators. Now, these indicators, this is not going to just be for, let's say, day trading and penny stocks. This is going to be a little bit more for blue chips, but it is going to be an indicator that I want you guys to start messing around with and see if you guys like it or not. Now, this is a very popular indicator. You might know this indicator very well, but there's going to be two that I'm going to be talking about today. And the two that I'm going to be talking about today are going to be the RSI and the MACD. And the RSI and MACD are going to be two great indicators to show us when we should start doing a short position, to show us when things are going to start getting a reversal. And there's going to be a secret though on how to do it with day trades. Okay. So first things first is let's understand what the MACD is. Let's understand what the RSI is. So first things first is we are going to take a look over on stockcharts.com, and stockcharts.com shows us that we have an RSI and the MACD. That's what I just put on. That's what I was just kind of loading up over on this chart. Now, a very simple way to be able to read this, very easy, is if I take this Tesla chart right here, I'm going to draw on it, and you will be able to see that anything that is over a 70 is considered overbought. Anything that is even near a 90 is going to be extremely overbought. Now, anything that is going to be near a 30 is oversold, and anything that is all the way down to a 10 is extremely oversold. So let's take a look at this chart. Now, this chart right here is Tesla. Now, what is so cool about this is whenever we are overbought or whenever we are near overbought, what do you guys think is going to happen in the near future? Well, let's think about it. If I came up to you as a broker and I said, hey guys, let's buy the most overbought stock we could do. Let's invest our hard-earned money on a stock that's extremely overbought. That's probably going to come crashing on down in the near future. Does that sound like a smart idea? Does that sound like a smart investment? The answer is no, not at all. That doesn't sound like a smart idea to me. So when I see that these plays are extremely overbought, what do you think is going to happen? Profit taking is going to happen. People are going to take gains. People are going to get out of it. It's going to naturally adjust, right? Just like a lot of times it's like nature. If we had a drought, if we had a lot of, dry, a lot of times nature fixes itself where we're going to have a lot of rain coming up in the future. Sometimes if we have a lot of rain, guess what happens? We have a lot of hot days in the future. Nature adjusts itself to be perfect. Same exact thing in the stock market. A lot of times, other than manipulation, things are going to adjust and be able to have that nice natural bounce. So if I see that a stock is extremely overbought, what do you think happens? Well, what happens is the stock comes crashing all the way back on down. And it comes all the way on down until guess what happens? We start becoming oversold. So now I'm oversold though. And if I told you, hey guys, let's short an oversold stock, would that be a good idea? The answer is no, not at all. It's not a good idea. So instead, guess what happens? Buyers now start moving in on these plays. And the buyers start saying, hey, it's oversold. It's a good opportunity to move on in. And then it starts moving on up. And then you guys can see right here, it's oversold. So it's a great area to start looking for an entry. And it's oversold. So it's a great entry, look for an entry. And it's oversold. Here's a great entry. Do you guys realize that every single time Tesla has become oversold, it has always been a perfect entry? This is Tesla's live chart. Let's take a look at a different one. Meta right here, team. Whenever again, Meta is overbought, guess what happens? It comes crashing on down. So you guys can be able to see this, right? This is again Meta. This is the price of Meta over here. This is the RSI above. Whenever we are overbought, we come crashing on down, right? Whenever we are oversold, we start moving our way back on up. So you guys can place this over on your charts as well, over on trade ideas. Remember the charts that I just gave you. Go over to indicators right here. Go over to add. We are going to scroll on down to RSI. You want to leave it in the 14 period. That's important. That's the standard. That's what everyone has it. So then you go to add right here, and now we can see exactly where these smaller cap plays are considered overbought or oversold. So you guys realize something. Whenever it is overbought, such as has an 80 on the RSI or way above it, it's going to come crashing on down in the near future. Whenever we are above that 70, above an 80, guess what happens? It comes crashing all the way back on down. It's very nice to be able to see. Type in any play you want. Let's just type in GameStop here. Let's see what GameStop's looking like. Obviously at this moment, guys, GameStop is extremely overbought. It has a 94 on the RSI. So yes, in the future, there is a great chance that this is most likely going to be coming crashing on down. But we can really look at any of these plays here today. It doesn't have to be that one. Let's take a look over on CTNT here, right? CTNT, it almost lines up perfect. Whenever we have a little bit of a spike, but we're above 80 on the RSI, in the next few days, we usually have that pullback. Now we have a 78 on the RSI. Guess what? In the next few days, we will be having that pullback. So it's great to just be able to have that RSI indicator to tell us really when we're overbought. Sometimes we may want to short a stock and we're not truly overbought yet, and this gives us patience to be able to wait for that overbought play. Same exact thing if we want to go ahead and look for a dip buy and we say, hey, we're not really oversold yet, let me have patience. So that is an absolutely beautiful thing for us to be able to realize and for us to be able to know. Now, what else do we want to be looking at? Well, we can also be looking over on the MACD. Now, the MACD is another indicator that's going to tell us when we are going to reverse. The MACD is going to be the bottom line here, okay? Now, the MACD, guys, I basically think about it as as wrestlers. All right, it's basically wrestlers. If you want to think about it in a little more of a spicy way, you can think about it as lovers. All right, and you guys can see you guys will see what I mean in a second. Basically, the MACD, we have our two lovers right here. We got our two wrestlers right here, which is going to be the black line and the red line. Okay, and what do we have here on the black or red line? Well, the black line right here is going to be the bulls are in control. Okay, the bulls are in control, and the red line right here is going to indicate that the bears are in control. So a lot of people like to either look at the RSI or they like to look at the MACD. You can look at both, but a lot of times people, again, like to pick one that they find a little bit more successful to them. All preference. So what happens when bulls are in control? When bulls are in control, we know that a stock usually goes up. And when bears are in control, guess what happens? A stock usually heads on down, right? So who's on top? Who's in control right here? Whoa. Who's in control at this moment, team? You guys can see the bulls are in control. Bulls are in control. Bulls are in control. Bulls are in control. As the bulls are in control, guess what happens? The stock goes up, 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 up. Then guess what happens? We roll around, we switch, and now the bears are in control, right? Now the bears are on top, and now bears are in control. Bears are in control. Bears are in control. And as long as that red line is on top, we know again we're going to keep on falling. But then we get that reversal, right? Then we get the switch. Now bulls are in control. Now again, bears are in control. Bulls are in control. So you can basically say to yourself at this moment, right? Whenever the bulls are in control, you always have a better chance of going up than going down. When the bears are in control, you always have a better chance of going down than going up, right? Pretty interesting to be able to see. Now, same exact thing, team. We could go over to indicators right here. We can scroll on over to the MACD, be able to add the MACD, click add right here, bada boom, and be able to have it. And you might need to extend your charts, adjust these a little bit, for you to be able to see them a little bit better, but you guys can be able to change this and check it on out. In this, it is going to be gold and blue. Now you can change the colors that you want, the gold and blue. But right here, team, who do you think's in control? The gold. Gold is the bulls, right? Gold is the bulls here. The blue on this case is the bears. Now, what is so great and what is so awesome? If I see that the MACD starts having the bears take control and I start seeing that the RSI is overbought, well, I got basically two perfect stars aligned right here showing me that we're going to dump soon. So I can see right now, the RSI tells me on GameStop, we're at a 94 on the RSI. We are a little overbought. But I also know the MACD tells me that bulls are still in control. So I think the smartest thing for me to do is actually wait for this to stay overbought, but wait until the bears can catch up to the bulls and start overtaking them. Wait until, again, the bears get on top and then again start bringing them on down. That's what I want to see out of this play. And that's going to give me timing. That's going to give me patience to wait for that. Guys, it's like I'm talking about these things right now. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited at this moment. And it's like so nuts right here. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. I hope you guys are saying, man, there is so much predictability on when stocks are going to fall. It's almost crazy. Deck's showing us the RSI right here, showing us when it's overbought and when more people are going to start selling, showing us that when bears take on over, we have another opportunity that's going to sell. Remember, odds are going to be in our favor. On top of that right here, guys, we already know GameStop is up super big, but it usually holds for about a week. And after about a week is when this thing comes crashing back on down. We can see this every single week that we've had. Spike on up, crash on down, spike on up, crash on down, spike on up, crash on down. So we may want to wait until next week before we start doing our big time shorts on this play. But we also know again that this play is all built off on hype and momentum, and all these plays have a 99% chance of coming crashing on down. Deck, where have you been all my life? Where have you been all my life? All my life in my stock trading career, all I do is follow people on Twitter and say, hey, hopefully you can teach me how to buy the play that comes on up. Hey, does anyone know what stock's going up? Please help me. Please help me. Does anyone know what stock is going to go up? Is anybody there? Hello? Papa, what stock will go on up? Hello? Right? Hey, I'm going to pull you out of your little stock trading orphanage that you've been on. I'm going to feed you, give you some food right over here. Traders, GameStop, all of these plays, all of these ideas, you can get confirmation, right? You can make sure every single trader now is saying, all right, overbought, great, but a little too early to pull the trigger. Let's wait until we get those reversals, right? Now, you can also do the same exact thing over on the minute chart. But if you do a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute chart, it's not going to be super accurate. What I want you guys to remember is the larger the time frame, the more accuracy you're going to have. Monthly time frame on the RSI will give us the most accurate idea of how overbought or how oversold we are. On a 1 minute time frame, it's not going to be that accurate. So if you are using the MACD or RSI and you are day trade, this is where it's important. Have at least a 5 minute time frame, okay? A 5 minute time frame so that you guys are getting some decent, accurate information as a day trade. You don't want to be doing a 1 minute chart. It's just too close. It's just too tight, okay? So that is very important that you guys are understanding here.